The history of voodoo in New Orleans is a spiritual gumbo. Its roots are grounded in Benin, flavored with the indigenous traditions of the people of Bolbancha, and rounded out with the beliefs of Haitian Vodou and other African traditional religions. New Orleans National Voodoo Day will include a ceremonial procession to monuments and sites of significance to the history of enslaved people in New Orleans. This walking ceremony of collective remembrance includes 9 points throughout New Orleans with voodoo offerings and prayers at each locale. From the time the first slave ships arrived in New Orleans in 1719, untold thousands of enslaved Africans arrived at the Mississippi riverfront, where our procession will begin. Here they were subjected to a grim future of unimaginable tortures. From these tragedies, the religion of New Orleans voodoo was birthed in the spirit of resilience and resistance. The procession will also include stops at the French market, where enslaved people sold produce, crafts, and other items. Here, the previously enslaved Rose Nicot became famous for her coffee, making her the foremother of the coffee culture that still thrives there today. Jackson Square. This was the site where many enslaved Africans arrived and were inhumanely sold to the highest bidder. It was also a location for public executions. The Lalaurie Mansion. This site stands as a dark legacy of torture and injustice. Many enslaved people there succumbed to untold horrors due to Madame Lalaurie's epic cruelty. Esplanade and Charters. Upon removal from the ships, enslaved Africans were held captive in prison-like pens throughout the city. Several of these were located in the area of Esplanade and Charters. Men, women, and even children were locked up here. They were examined, groomed, and punished here in order to fetch a better price. Solomon Northup was housed in one of these pens. A free man, Northup was kidnapped from New York and brought to this city to be sold into slavery. His eloquent and painful story is told in his book, 12 Years a Slave, which was made into a major motion picture. The Tomb of the Unknown Slave. This stands as a memorial to all the uncounted enslaved people whose names have been lost to time. Many of these have been discovered in unmarked graves throughout the city. Erected in 2004, here chains and shackles form a giant cross, a sacred symbol in both Christianity and voodoo, representing power and transformation. The home of Marie Laveau. The home of the legendary voodoo queen Marie Laveau stands on St. Anne. Filled with voodoo shrines, offerings, statuary, herbs, and more, it stands as a beacon for all who honor this divine priestess. She was indeed larger than life, and in many ways larger than death too. A businesswoman, a priestess, and a foremother, she serves as an inspirational representation of the sacred feminine for us all. Marie Laveau was the first practitioner to hold open voodoo ceremonies in the United States. Many of these took place in Congo Square, the final stop on the processional and location of the ritual. Congo Square. Since the 1740s, this site has been a gathering place for enslaved people, a location for markets, music, rituals, sacred rhythms, and sacred dances. Here, many jazz rhythms were born, a sacred locale for the origins of the Mardi Gras Indians and second-line traditions, and a truly sanctified spot for the honoring the ancestors of this city.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
My name is Denise Augustine.